My name is Shivani and this is the Curly Bookworm. Welcome and Happy New Year. We are talking today about new reading goals and also new books. So let's go. If you're new to this channel, I hope you enjoy this video and I hope you go on to watch more videos. If you're not new to this channel, consider subscribing. It helps the algorithm, and also like this video. Okay, that's all I want to say about that. Let's talk about New Year, New Me. This whole concept of New Year, New Me is kind of interesting because it's about reinvention. And while I think that's super important, I think it's also important to get a hold of who you were in the last 365 days. And you know, it's not necessarily a resolution space where you fail or you win, but the way I see it, it's sort of like a where was I the last 365 days? And it's just one random day. Yes, it's a random day that you pick, that the world picks together to reflect. Well, they should be reflecting if they're not. And it's not just about resolution, it's about reflecting. It's interesting. I did this exercise on the 31st where I said, okay, what did I do this year? And what did I achieve? What am I proud of? And what are some things that maybe I want to do the next year? So it's more about what do I want to do, just taking a moment to do that, then really like evaluating yourself and like giving yourself these deadlines or these goals, you know. So yeah, so I feel like that word resolution is sort of overused, but you know, you can call it something else. You can call it a goal, you can call it a reset, you can call it whatever the hell you want to. So, reading goals. The one thing that I really don't like is setting a number to how many books I'll read, because I'm not sure that quantity is really reflective of anything, really. I do put a number on my reading challenge on Goodreads, but that's only because I want to see what I've been reading this year, and it kind of, for some reason, it appears in order. If you click on the reading challenge, it kind of shows you the order of books that you read. So I just put in like a random number, and I don't really care about whether I make that goal or not. So if you're somebody who likes to, you know, set a number, great, amazing if that works for you. But all I want to say is, if you're not that type of person, it's okay. A reading goal doesn't need to have a number attached to it. But what I do want to think about this year as I go forward is, what kind of books do I want to read? What kind of knowledge do I want to have? And this is something that I will change as I go. This is something that I might pivot as I go, but just some rough guidelines in terms of what I really want to do, not what I need to do. This isn't at all about what I need to do, because reading is something that I find fun. So this really is not the need space or should do space. It's just a space where I feel like, oh, I haven't read much of that and I'd like to read that. So that's the kind of space that I want to be in when I talk about reading goals. My reading goal for myself this year kind of involves around reading across genres and reading from this bookshelf. So what I'm going to do, and the plan is that I'm going to actually pick a bunch of genres from this shelf, and I'm going to read across them, and I'm going to give myself the flexibility of picking the genre that I want to read. I want to read maybe a book a month, so 12 books. I'm going to do a more detailed video of picking these books and taking you through that a little bit later. But I wanted to give you a broad idea of what my reading goals look like this year, genre, and finish like this stuff. There's so many new books that I have over the last few years that I haven't really gotten into, and these are books that I chose and I knew what I was buying, so legitimately I want to read them, and that's what my goal is. And so on to the next topic, which is basically some of the new books that I have bought. This is the new haul. For the new books haul, let's begin with this book. This is The Principles of Uncertainty by Myra Kalman. Myra Kalman is one of my favorite artists, and I have read 2 other books by her. I've also recommended another book. Let me just show it to you. I showed this to you in my best books of the year last year, which was only a few days ago, but this was a wonderful book. And obviously after I read that book, I was like, I want to go pick up more by her, and I picked up this one. This is called The Principles of Uncertainty. This apparently has just Myra's ideas of life and how it should be led and things like that. I don't really care because I'm in this for the art, And like, look at this, it's so cool. I mean, I'm just really in it for the art. So yeah, I know I'm repeating myself, but I love this author and I'm very excited to read it. The next one, incidentally, is also an art book, but this was gifted to me by my sister. This is called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. It is a lovely, lovely book. I actually even started reading it. I don't know if you can see some of the bookmarks that I've made. So this is about anybody who wants to lead a little more of a creative life, and you may be a creative professionally, you may not be, but you just want to invoke the creative in your life. This is supposed to be the book for it. This is a 12-week program from what I'm understanding, and the author kind of like guides you into how to lead a more creative life. She sends you on artist dates and she makes you do morning pages, which are like you meeting your own creative self, or like a brain dump in general. So that's as far as I know, because I haven't read too much yet. I'm very excited about reading this because it's supposed to be very transformative in general, and who doesn't want transformation? So this book, The Adventures of Amina Al-Sirafi by Shannon Chakraborty. So this is an interesting book apparently, because my friend Shruti has given it to me for my birthday, and it's interesting also because it's like this badass woman pirate, like a lady pirate who has given up everything. She's gone into retirement and she's become a mother and she's living the domestic life, and then she gets a job that she can't refuse, and this is the story of that job. So Shruti has recommended it. I would definitely pick it up just basis her recommendation. She also has a YouTube booktube channel. I'm going to link that below if you want to subscribe if you haven't already. So yeah, that's that book. I'm super excited. This is the next book I want to talk about, and this is, honestly, I've already read this, but it's the kind of book that you can read like 100 times over because it's short and it's just like these wonderful quotes by writers about their cats, which is, what is that? It's so cute, and it's like mostly just these illustrations, these beautiful illustrations with quotes. And I will review this in my wrap-up because I just finished reading it, but it is such a lovely book, you guys. The next book that I have is this one. This is called The Book of Goose. I actually bought it because I was really attracted to the cover. And somebody in the bookshop that I was at recommended it. I actually don't know much about it. What I do know is that this is about two friends who are from a small town, and they were very, very close childhood friends, and something happened and they both moved away, and one of them is dead and the other one can actually like talk about the past. Something like that is what I know about this book. I'm excited to read it because I hear it's very, very beautifully written. The next book that I have is this one. This is called Scorched Grace. This is supposed to be super interesting. Again, a recommendation from the bookstore folks at Trilogy. It is supposed to be about arson, and it's got a nun who smokes. She's badass, she has tattoos, and yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. I'm quite excited about this. I love this book cover. How cool is that? These are all like such amazing, beautiful colors. I'm always attracted to the art on book covers because that's an art by itself, Next one that I have is a gift by a friend of mine, Khushbu. It's called Art Matters, and it's by Neil Gaiman. I think I'm given to understand that there are these little essays where he talks about why creativity and art is important to the world. Got a few illustrations as well. It says at the back here, be bold, be rebellious, choose art, it matters. And I agree, Neil Gaiman, choose art because it matters. So yeah, I'm gonna read this and tell you how it goes. The next book that I have is this one. This is The Story of a Happy Marriage by Anne Patchett. This is again short stories by Anne Patchett. As you know, I read another book by her. Let me show it to you. If you haven't already seen me go on and on about it, this is These Precious Days. I've talked about it in a couple of other videos before. Love it, love it, love it. It was my absolute favorite book from last year, like the #1. So naturally, I was like, I have to pick up this one. I went to the bookstore and I said, hey, can you give me something that's similar? And obviously this one popped up. This is actually a book that she wrote before she wrote These Precious Days, but it's supposed to be equally riveting. The next book is this one. This is Great Stories by Nobel Prize winners, and it's got all kinds of really cool Nobel Prize winners like Rudyard Kipling, it's got Rabindranath Tagore, it's got Albert Camus. This was actually a gift. I don't know much else about it, but I just know that it's a collection of really great short stories. This was gifted to me by my friend Labani for my birthday because she was like, hey, I know you're really into short stories, which I really am at the moment. Between short stories and like essays, I'm like super into them right now, and she gifted me this book for my birthday. I'm very excited about it. It's gonna take me a while to read it, I think, because though I'm super into short stories these days, I don't read them in one go. I kind of read them over like many months, and so regardless of that, they're supposed to be great short stories by great masters, so I'm very excited. The next one is also a short story book. This is the Penguin book of Spanish short stories. I actually read the first short story in here. It was amazing. It was about this man who was on the tram and he was listening to gossip behind him and things that happened after that. Really cute. I'm very excited about it. I love the cover. Isn't it beautiful? It's so cute. Yeah, that's actually all I know about this book, but I'm excited to read it because I'm in the short story phase. The next book that I have is called Goodbye Cat, The Goodbye Cat by Hiro Arikawa. This is the same author as this book. If you haven't read this book, please go read it. It is so good. It's about a cat that has a really deep and intimate relationship with the person that he hangs out with. I don't want to say the cat's owner because nobody ever really owns a cat, but yeah, I don't want to say much more about this, but this book is supposed to be like a few different short stories about cats and their humans. So yeah, I'm super excited. I love the illustration of this cat. I love cat illustrations and cat paintings and cat drawings. You'll see that if you follow me on Instagram as well. I'm excited about reading this book simply because this book was amazing. The next book that I have is a gift from my sister. This is called Kitty Language, and it's just a really well illustrated book. Super cute. As you know now, I really like cats. This apparently gives you a guide of how to understand your cat, like what do they do, all the sniffing, all the tail wagging, the bright eyes, what do their ears look like, and so on and so forth. I haven't read it at all. I have no other idea except for a quick glance that I had in the book, but it looks really cute. The illustrations are really cute, and it's a book about cats, so what's not to love? I'm excited. The last book that I have in this massive haul is this one. This is called Wild Places. Again, they are selected short stories by Catherine Mansfield. I had no idea who Catherine Mansfield was. I'm sure some of you may be familiar with her, but I was not. She is apparently Virginia Woolf's contemporary, and she was from, I want to say New Zealand. I'm not 100% sure. I literally bought it for the gorgeous cover. It's supposed to be really interesting because Catherine Mansfield is funny and she was apparently really bold. I read the foreword a little bit, and she at the time was not very popular, and she died very early at like the age of 30 something, 32 or 33, of tuberculosis, and people thought that she'd be a washout, but she actually wasn't, and her work has sort of stood the test of time. So she's a very controversial author from what I have understood of like the few pages that I read going into this book. So I'm actually excited to read her short stories and see if that reflects, or does it not even matter. So that was all that I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in my next video where I will hopefully take you through some of the books that you see behind me that I need to read. These will also be included because I'm excited about them, and why not? So that's it. I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.